Hello everyone and welcome to a game here, 1 versus 1 between Slider and Dimaga. This is Gnomecraft here, PGL Gnomecraft for Pro Gaming Leagues. It's a website that me and a couple of my friends are starting up, in which you can create a community of gamers in which you can battle against each other, create your own tournaments or something, so you should go check it out. I'll have a link to it in the description. But let's get out of the game. So this is between, as I stated earlier, the blue Protoss player right here, Slider, versus MTW Dimaga. Now, Dimaga is a very good Zerg player. I've watched us play, especially against Nesty. He was quite effective in the GSTL, which is the GSL Team League, with the Global League that was played in. It played in Korea, in which they flew in a bunch of foreigners, and they had the foreigners battle the Korean players there, and the foreigners did quite well in that game. These games were a couple of weeks ago. And in that, Dimaga definitely proved himself as a very capable player, was able to beat a couple of very good players. And in the actual GSL earlier, he was actually able to beat Nesty. Now, Nesty, known for his Zerg versus Zerg. Ooh, you see a forge coming down. Sorry to interrupt myself. Anyway, Nesty, known for his Zerg versus Zerg. And in fact had not actually lost any Zerg vs. Zergs on any sort of televised games. Like not just matches, he hasn't lost any games. And Dimaga was able to beat him 2 in a row. So we see that it was quite effective, and he's a very good player. It looks like Dimaga is probably going to be going for a Forge Fast expand, unless he's just trying to cheese Dimaga out, which doesn't make any sense. So we should see a Nexus going down pretty quickly. I don't understand the placement here, though. If he's going to a Forge Fast expand, it's possible he's just trying to maybe defend himself. Oh, nope, we do see a pylon going down, so he's definitely going to be going for some cheese here. We're going to have to see whether or not cancels the pylon, he gives up on the cheese. He probably thinks that the early Zerg season is not going to be a hatchery at first. He's going to see that the Overlord is probably going to spot the pylon anyway. He was going to be able to get it done, so that wasn't going to work out. So he's going to be behind development. He's going to have a cannon defending the entrance to his base, so we should be safe from these sort of early Zergling attacks, but that's a lot of resources, 300 resources that he didn't need to spend right there, that he could have spent in other endeavors. That's going to slow down his development. Now he's getting 2 gases in order to be able to catch up and try to get himself back into this game. I'll go ahead and turn on production here so we can pay attention to that. Now we see Dimaga putting down a hatchery and Overlord, and we see he's moving out with the Zerglings to see what action they can do. They're going to poke their heads up, probably see the cannon and turn around. But they're not going to be able to get a run by there. Yep, he's going to be able to save the Zergling, not take the second hit from the cannon, which of course deals 20 damage each and will kill the Zergling. We see Dimaga now is going to have map control for a long time, because he can't even, Slider can't even start his Zealot until now, and he's not going to start his Zealot right away. Well, I guess he did have enough minerals to start his Zealot right away, so I ate my words there. But I was going to say he wanted to get a Cybernetics core first, because he's already behind. He can't let himself be behind anymore, and on top of that, as a result of being so behind, as a result from the failed cannon rush that he tried to do against the patch first, which Dimaga failed to go, means that he's going to be really behind on his warp gate, which is of course really important because it accelerates all the build time for the Protoss and allows the Protoss to be able to push out. They can put proxy pylons, which allows them to have much closer attacks. We see that he's pushing out now with the Zealot, and he's getting another Zealot. I expect a Sentry probably after that. It looks like he's probably going to be going for an early Nexus here to be able to try to catch up in terms of economy without leaving himself too vulnerable. However, you see Dimaga building 6 more Zerglings. Dimaga's going to try to push. That was a nice micro there, be able to save that last Zergling. But Dimaga's going to be able to push forward. He's probably going to try to either sneak into the base, or potentially just try to take out whatever is defending here and force the cancel on the Nexus, or if the cancel is completed, just to kind of deal a lot of damage and be a general nuisance with these Zerglings. At a very minimum, he's going to be able to hold map control with these Zerglings as well. Now, Dimaga over here being very standard right now. This clean is a little late, but that's because he went gas and spawning pool first, so that's the reason for that. You see him putting down actually a creep tumor before he does this. You see that people are willing to give up injector larvas nowadays in order to be able to expand their creep, because expanding creep is so important because you need the speed to be able to defend, especially in order to get around Protoss units, be able to make sure you get full surrounds with your Zerglings. You see he's camping up the center watchtower here. This map, I don't think I mentioned it before, is called Testbug. Testbug is the name of the Brood War map creator who created a bunch of very important Brood War maps. And it has rocks guarding 3 towers which guard each of the bases. It's also a 3-person map. There's the 3rd spot is here. So these 3 spots are the 3 starting spots. The rocks stop you from being able to take the 3 watchtowers that are directly in front of the base, so that you can't just go right away, move into the watchtowers, set up siege tanks or something. You have to be able to destroy the rocks before you can do any of the shenanigans like that. And it has 3 gold expansions within the middle as well, where you can expand to them, but you can't mine from them, at least not very efficiently, until you have to destroy the rocks. And you see the Zerg player working on those right now. As long as he has the Zerglings, it's a really good move to be able to start making attacks on his rocks, be able to use the Zerglings for something efficient. They're so fast anyway that he can see with the watchtower if the Protoss player starts moving out, he's going to be able to better take that. See, the Protoss player is now going up to 5 gateways. He doesn't have any other sources of attack, which tells me that he's actually going to be going for an attack here, and yes, indeed he is pushing out. The fact that he's not taking up indicates almost for certain that he's going to be wanting to take some action here, otherwise he's going to start falling behind attack pretty soon. It's possible that he's just getting a defensive force and he felt he was so far behind. And ooh, and that poor pro who got stuck behind that column. Sorry, bud. Sacrifice. I would hate to be an automaton for the Protoss. They treat him with such little respect. Probes have to go get their minerals all the time, and then if they build something incorrectly, they just have to be destroyed. The life of a probe. But as we see here, he's in fact moving out. The question is if he's going to be able to. Those sentries can do wonders against these forces. Even though he just has relatively few zealots within this force, it actually doesn't matter as much as the force fields can lock them in and be able to protect them against these Zergling attacks. Now you see about 8 to 12 roaches? How many roaches do we have so far? We got 6 roaches, 7 roaches so far, and he's building 3 more, I believe. If we go to the unit station, that you get 11 roaches, which is quite a fearsome amount. However, a high number of stalkers that fly ahead to be able to fight those as well. But you can see that there's a huge economic lead as well. Dimaga being able to tech up in relative safety as a result of the Forge First. It all goes back to the Forge First. Starting buildings are extremely important. The build order that you choose to build is extremely important. Trying to pick up the pylon, not able to do it, and those Zerglings are able to squeeze out from that force field. You're going to be able to take some more damage here. I don't think it's going to be able to do a lot, though. It's a big Protoss force that's right near the pylon. They're probably not going to be able to pick it off. Probably should put down another pylon, though, with his probe. Maybe his probe did get in fact picked off. He's just going to ignore the pylon now. He's going to move into the main attack. He needs really some good force fields here. Those are not. Well, the force fields are pretty good at keeping the back of roaches back. No, those are probably not necessary against the versions there. Those are great force fields. You can divide the roaches. The roaches are only range of 3. I'm not going to do a whole lot of damage, and he needs to be able to run out of stalkers. Now notice they're running out of stalkers because they're on creep, and Slaughter's an actually good game out of it, because the roaches are just too many, they just did too much damage, and there's this huge economic lead that Dimaga had, and Slaughter just wasn't able to come back. So it shows you that, your starting is, the method, the build order that you choose to start with is extremely important. It's very, very, very important that you know exactly what you're doing. And if he took a gamble, Slaughter took a gamble because he was expecting Dimaga to hatch first, and if he hatched first, maybe the build order would have been a little more effective. But doing that without scouting was extremely dangerous, and Slaughter had to pay for it.